President Han Wu looked out the window of his spaceship as they traveled through the stars toward Nethros Prime. The blue and green planet grew larger with each passing hour. This was the most important day in human history. For the first time ever, a human leader would speak to the Galactic High Council. "Sir, we should be careful," said General Kim Dae, his oldest friend. Kim Dae had fought beside Han Wu in the Earth Defense Wars 20 years ago. Now he commanded all of Earth's military forces. "I don't trust these aliens. They never invite humans to important meetings." Han Wu smiled and put his hand on his friend's shoulder. "That's exactly why this is so important, Dae. We've been part of the Galactic Federation for 50 years, but they still treat us like children. Today I'll show them that humans deserve respect." Dr. Park Nari walked into the room carrying a small device. She was Earth's top scientist, and Han Wu trusted her completely. "Mr. President, I finished installing the new shields on our ship. If anything goes wrong, this should protect us." "What kind of shields?" Kim Dae asked. "Something I've been working on in secret," Park Nari said quietly. "The aliens think we're not very smart, but we've learned a lot from their technology. Maybe more than they know." The ship's captain, Lee Tae, announced over the speaker that they would arrive at Nethros Prime in 2 hours. Lee Tae was young but skilled. He had flown dangerous missions for Earth Special Forces. Han Wu felt safe with him as their pilot. Ambassador Choi Bin joined them in the main room. He had been Earth's representative to the Galactic Federation for 10 years. "Mr. President, I must warn you about what to expect. The 3 major powers don't like each other, but they all agree on one thing. They think humans are weak and stupid." "Tell me about them again," Han Wu said. "The Nethians look like giant fish that walk on land. They live underwater and think they're the smartest species in the galaxy. Their leader is Chancellor Vex Moore. He's very proud and doesn't like humans at all." Choi Bin continued, "The Vorthak Empire are made of living crystal. They're very tall and their bodies shine with different colors. They think they're better than everyone because they live for thousands of years. Their leader is Lord Crystal Thane Quill." "And the Quillen Collective?" Han Wu asked. "They look like giant insects. They work together like a hive of bees. Their queen broodmother Kes Vane speaks for all of them. She thinks humans breed too much and take up too much space." The ship shook slightly as they entered Nethros Prime's atmosphere. The planet was covered in blue oceans with floating cities that looked like giant bubbles. Lee Tae guided their ship to the landing platform near the council chamber. "Remember," Han Wu told his small team, "we're here to show them that humans are ready to be equal partners in the galaxy. We have ideas and skills that can help everyone." The council chamber was huge. It could hold thousands of beings from different worlds. Most of the seats were empty, but the important aliens were all there. Han Wu had never seen so many different species in one place. Chancellor Vex Moore's voice sounded like water bubbling. "Why have the humans come here? They have nothing important to say." Lord Crystal Thane Quill's body flashed red and yellow. "Perhaps they want to complain about something again." "Humans always complain." Broodmother Kes Vane made clicking sounds that meant she was annoyed. "They should be happy we let them join the Federation at all. Most species have to wait centuries to be accepted." Han Wu walked to the center of the chamber. His heart was beating fast, but his voice was strong and clear. "Leaders of the galaxy, I come here today not to complain, but to offer partnership. For 50 years, Earth has followed Federation rules. We've sent food to hungry worlds. We've shared our music and art. We've asked for very little in return." Some aliens in the audience made noises that sounded like laughter. "But humans can offer much more," Han Wu continued. "We solve problems in ways others cannot. We adapt to any situation. We never give up when things get hard. We believe that working together makes everyone stronger." Chancellor Vex Moore's fins moved in anger. "Humans are useful for simple work, nothing more. You grow food and dig in dirt. That is your place." "We don't need human ideas," said Lord Crystal Thane Quill. "We have ruled the galaxy for thousands of years without your help." Broodmother Kes Vane's antennae twitched. "Humans make too many mistakes. You fight each other over small things. How can you help the galaxy when you cannot help yourselves?" Han Wu felt angry but kept his voice calm. "We have made mistakes, yes, but we learn from them. We become stronger because of them. Every human knows that our differences make us better, not worse." He looked around the chamber at all the different alien faces. "I ask you to give humanity a real chance. Let us prove what we can do. Judge us by our actions, not by your assumptions." The chamber was quiet for a moment. Then Chancellor Vex Moore spoke. Humans will never be more than servants. This is the natural order. Your speech changes nothing, added Lord Crystal Thane Quill. Humans belong in their small corner of the galaxy. Han Wu felt disappointed but not surprised. He had hoped for a different response, but he knew changing minds would take time. Then I have wasted your time, Han Wu said. But remember my words. Humanity will not stay small forever. We will earn our place among the stars with or without your permission. As Han Wu turned to leave, he noticed something strange. The three major leaders were looking at each other in a way that made him uncomfortable. Chancellor Vex Moore's hand moved to something under his seat. Lord Crystal Thane Quill's body began to glow brighter. Brood Mother Kess. Vane's wings started to buzz quietly. General Kim Dae saw it too. He stepped closer to Han Wu and whispered, Something's wrong. We need to leave now, but it was too late. All three alien leaders stood up at the same moment. Hidden weapons appeared in their hands. The trap was ready to spring. You are right about one thing, human, Chancellor Vex Moore said with an evil smile. This will change everything. The attack happened so fast that most humans didn't understand what was occurring. Chancellor Vex Moore raised a weapon that looked like a twisted seashell. It made no sound, but waves of painful noise hit everyone in the chamber. Lord Crystal Thane Quill threw sharp crystal pieces that flew through the air like deadly arrows. Broodmother Kess Vane released a green gas that made humans fall down and stop breathing. General Kim Dae tried to protect President Han Wu, but the sonic weapon from the Nethian leader made his ears bleed. He fell to his knees, unable to stand. Ambassador Choi Bin collapsed when the poisonous gas reached him. Captain Lee Tae was hit by 3 crystal shards and died instantly. Dae! Han Wu shouted as he saw his best friend falling. He grabbed Kim Dae and tried to drag him toward the exit, but more crystal shards flew past his head. Colonel Yoon Sik, the head of Han Wu's personal guards, was fighting 3 Quillan soldiers near the door. Mr. President! This way, he yelled, but his voice was weak from the poison gas. Han Wu knew he was going to die, but he wanted to save as many of his people as possible. He pushed Kim Dae toward Colonel Yoon Sik. Get him out of here. Tell Earth what really happened. A crystal shard hit Han Wu in the chest. He looked down and saw blood spreading across his shirt. More sonic waves hit him and he could barely think. The poison gas was making it hard to breathe. The humans were planning to attack Federation worlds, Chancellor Vex Moore announced to the other aliens in the chamber. We had to stop them before they could hurt innocent people. Han Wu used his last strength to speak. Lies, he whispered. We came in peace. Lord Crystal Thane Quill's body flashed bright white. This human was a terrorist. We have proof, but Han Wu could no longer hear them. He fell to the floor as Colonel Yoon Sik managed to escape with the badly injured General Kim Dae. The assassination was complete. 3 days later, Colonel Yoon Sik's damaged shuttle reached Earth. He had kept Kim Dae alive during the long journey home, but both men were badly hurt. The news of President Han Wu's death spread across Earth in minutes. Minister Shin Hai became the new leader of Earth. She was smart and careful, always thinking before acting. But even she could not stay calm when she heard how Han Wu had died. They murdered him, Kim Dae said from his hospital bed. His hearing was still damaged from the sonic attack. It wasn't a fight. It was planned murder. The aliens are saying he was a terrorist, Shin Hai replied. They claim they have evidence that he was planning attacks. That's impossible, shouted Dr. Park Nari. She had been crying since she heard the news. President Han Wu never hurt anyone. He wanted peace. Colonel Yoon Sik nodded weakly. I saw everything. The 3 species worked together. They had weapons ready before the president even finished speaking. This was always their plan. General Kim Dae struggled to sit up in his bed. Minister Shin, we must respond with force. They killed our leader and now they're lying about it. If we do nothing, they'll think humans are cowards. And if we attack, they'll say we really are terrorists. Shin Hai answered, we need to be smart about this. Dr. Park Nari looked around the room to make sure no one else was listening. There's something you all need to know. We're not as weak as the aliens think we are. What do you mean? Asked Shin Hai. For 20 years, I've been leading a secret project. We've been studying alien technology and building our own versions, better versions. We've been pretending to be simple farmers and miners, but we're much more advanced than they know. Kim Dae's eyes became wide. How advanced? Advanced enough to make them very sorry they killed President Han Wu. Meanwhile, Admiral Bei Jun was commanding Earth's space fleet near the outer colonies. He received a message from Earth telling him about the assassination. He was so angry that he broke his coffee cup. "Sir," said his aide, "we're getting reports of alien ships moving toward our territory." Admiral Bei Jun looked at the star charts on his screen. "How many ships?" "Thousands, sir. All three species have fleets heading this way." "They're not done," the admiral said quietly. "Killing our president was just the beginning." On the planet New Sol, Captain Nam Gi was loading supplies onto his merchant ship when the sky turned dark. He looked up and saw hundreds of large insect-like ships descending from space. They were Quillen bioships, and they were spraying something into the air. "Everyone get inside," Nam Gi shouted, but it was too late. The green spray touched the ground and everything began to die. Plants turned brown and fell over. Animals collapsed and stopped moving. People started coughing and then stopped breathing. Nam Gi ran to his ship and started the engines as fast as he could. He took off just as the deadly spray reached his landing platform. From space, he watched in horror as New Sol colony turned completely silent. 12 million humans lived there, and now they were all dead. He sent a message to Earth. "New Sol is gone. The Quillens killed everyone. This is genocide." When the news reached Earth, even Minister Shin Hai could not talk about peace anymore. The aliens had not just killed their leader. They were trying to kill all humans. "They want to destroy us completely," she said during an emergency meeting. "Dr. Park Nari, show me these secret weapons you've been building." Dr. Park Nari smiled for the first time since Han Wu's death. "I've been waiting 50 years for someone to ask me that question. It's time to show the galaxy what humans can really do." General Kim Dae stood up from his wheelchair. His injuries still hurt, but his anger made him strong. President Han Wu believed in peace. He died trying to make friends with these monsters. "Now we'll show them what happens when you hurt humans." "What are you thinking?" asked Minister Shin Hai. "I'm thinking," said Kim Dae, "that the aliens are about to learn why you should never make humans angry." Dr. Park Nari led Minister Shin Hee and General Kim Dae through underground tunnels beneath Seoul. They walked for 20 minutes before reaching a massive door that required her handprint and eye scan to open. "Welcome to Project Thunder," she said as the door slid open. The room beyond was enormous, filled with machines and computers that looked nothing like normal Earth technology. Workers in white coats moved between tables covered with strange devices. Everything hummed with power. "How long has this been here?" asked Shin Hai, staring at weapons that seemed to bend light around them. "We started building this the day after we joined the Galactic Federation," Park Nari replied. "President Kim Moon-se, Han Wu's predecessor, ordered us to study everything the aliens gave us. Not just to use it, but to understand it and make it better." General Kim Dae picked up what looked like a normal pistol, but it had no trigger. "How does this work?" "Think about firing and it fires. Think about what you want to hit, and it will hit that target even if it's behind a wall or around a corner. We call it a mind gun." Kim Dae thought about shooting a target on the far wall. The weapon fired silently and the target exploded. "Incredible. That's nothing," said Dr. Park Nari with pride. "Let me show you the real weapons." She led them to another section where Dr. Zhang So was working with alien specimens in glass containers. She was Earth's top expert on alien biology. "Dr. Zhang, please explain what you've discovered." Dr. Zhang So looked up from her microscope. "The aliens think they're superior to us, but they all have critical weaknesses. The Nethians' bodies can't handle certain sound frequencies. The right sonic pulse will make their organs explode." She pointed to a Vorthak crystal sample. "The crystal aliens look strong, but they're actually very fragile. If you hit them with the correct vibration, they shatter like glass." "And the Quillens?" asked Kim Dae. "Insects," she said with disgust. "I've created a virus that attacks their nervous system. It spreads through their hive-mind connection. Kill one and you kill them all." Minister Shin Hai felt sick. "This sounds as terrible as what they did to us." "Minister," said Park Nari gently, "they just murdered 12 million humans on New Sol. They're preparing to attack our other colonies. We can either use these weapons or we can watch our species die." Commander Oh Bin appeared from the shadows. He was tall and thin, with scars on his face from missions no one talked about. He led Earth's Secret Operations Division. "The aliens think we're stupid farmers," he said in a quiet voice. "For 50 years my people have been living on their worlds, learning their languages, mapping their cities. We know where their leaders sleep. We know where their weapons are stored. We know which planets will cause the most damage if they're destroyed. You've been spying on them for 50 years? Asked Shinhai. President Kim Moon-se's orders. He said humans should always be ready for the worst. He was right. General Kim Dae smiled despite his pain. How many ships do we really have? Park Nari touched a control panel, and the wall became transparent. Outside they could see hundreds of sleek black ships floating in underground lakes. The aliens think our entire fleet is the 200 old ships we show them, she said. Actually, we have over 3,000 modern warships hidden throughout the solar system. Each one is more advanced than their best battleships. They think we're weak because we ask for help sometimes, added Commander Obin. They don't understand that we were studying their reactions, learning their strategies. Every time we seemed helpless, we were really gathering intelligence. Minister Shinhai made her decision. General Kim Dae, you have permission to use whatever force is necessary to protect humanity. What about the other species in the Federation? Kim Dae asked. Many of them are not involved in this conspiracy. We'll warn them to stay out of our way, Shinhai replied. But the Nethians, Vorthak, and Quillans must pay for what they've done. 2 hours later, Captain Lee Tae's younger brother, Lieutenant Lee Min, was piloting the first stealth ship toward the Nethian homeworld. The ship was invisible to alien sensors and moved faster than anything the Nethians had ever seen. Target acquired, he reported to Admiral Baejun. The capital city has 50 million Nethians. Are you sure about this? They killed President Han Wu in cold blood, Admiral Baejun replied from the command ship. They murdered 12 million innocent humans on New Sol. They want to destroy our entire species. Show them what happens when humans fight back. Lieutenant Lee Min activated the sonic weapon Dr. Jang So had designed. It was based on Nethian technology but much more powerful. The sound wave spread through the water around the alien city. Every Nethian in the capital city felt their organs vibrating. They tried to swim away, but the sound waves followed them. Within minutes, the most powerful aquatic species in the galaxy was floating dead in their own oceans. At the same time, Major Lim Dal was leading a strike team to the Vorthak crystal homeworld. The aliens lived in beautiful cities carved from mountain-sized crystals that reflected light in amazing colors. Activate harmonic bombs, he ordered. The weapons looked small, but they created vibrations that traveled through the crystal structures. The Vorthak Empire's greatest cities began to crack. The living crystals that made up the alien bodies started to vibrate in harmony with their architecture. Lord Crystal Thane Quill was in his palace when the harmonic waves hit. His body, which had lived for 3,000 years, began to shake apart. Impossible, he said as cracks appeared in his chest. Humans are primitive. The cracks spread through his crystalline body until he shattered into 1,000,000 pieces. On the Quillan homeworld, Dr. Yang Hui's engineered virus was already spreading through the insect colonies. The aliens had thought their hive mind was their strength, but humans turned it into their weakness. The virus jumped from one Quillan to another through their mental connections. Brood Mother Kess Vane felt her children dying across a dozen worlds. She tried to break the hive mind connections to stop the spread, but it was too late. The virus had reached every Quillan in the galaxy. How is this possible? She gasped as her own body began to fail. We are the perfect species. Her last thought was a message that reached every surviving alien in the galaxy. The humans are not what they appear to be. Back on Earth, General Kim Dae watched the reports coming in from all 3 alien homeworlds. The attacks had been completely successful. The 3 species that had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years were essentially destroyed. Sir, said his aide, we're receiving surrender requests from dozens of other species. They want to make peace with us. Tell them, Kim Dae said, that humans are always willing to talk, but they should remember what happens to those who attack us without cause. Dr. Park Nari looked at the tactical displays showing human forces across the galaxy. President Han Wu wanted peace. Now the galaxy will have peace, but it will be human peace. The aliens thought we were weak because we were kind, said Minister Shinhai. They forgot that the strongest species are often the most gentle, until you give them no choice. The age of alien dominance was over. The age of humanity had begun. The news of the 3 homeworld attacks spread across the galaxy faster than light-speed communication. Every alien species received the same shocking reports. The Nethian capital was silent. The Vorthak Empire had collapsed. and the Quillen Collective was dead. Fleet Admiral Kang Min stood on the bridge of the EDS Vengeance, humanity's new flagship. She was watching as thousands of human warships appeared throughout the galaxy. For 50 years they had been hidden in secret bases, disguised as cargo ships or parked in the dark spaces between stars. "All fleets report ready." "Admiral?" said her communications officer. "Good," she replied, looking at the tactical display. The aliens wanted to see what humans can do. "Let's show them." The ships emerging from hiding were nothing like the old, simple vessels the aliens had seen before. These were sleek predators designed for one purpose: winning battles. They could appear and disappear at will, strike from impossible distances, and move through space in ways that broke alien understanding of physics. Dr. Yang Hui had outdone herself with the new weapon systems. The gravity bombs could collapse entire star systems. The phase cannons fired through multiple dimensions to hit targets that thought they were safe. The quantum missiles could be in 10 places at once before choosing which target to destroy. On the border world of Nexus Station, an alien coalition fleet was gathering to strike back at humanity. The survivors from the 3 major species had convinced dozens of smaller powers to join them. They had over 2,000 ships, the largest fleet in recorded galactic history. "This is Admiral Voss Kellen of the Rescue Coalition," announced their leader over galactic communication channels. "Humans, your unprovoked attacks end now. Surrender immediately or face the combined might of 60 civilized species." Fleet Admiral Kang Min smiled. "Major Limdal, are your ground forces ready?" "Yes, Admiral. We're prepared to demonstrate human capabilities." The alien fleet at Nexus Station was confident. They had numbers, they had firepower, and they were fighting for survival. What they didn't have was any understanding of how humans actually fought. The first surprise came when human ships began appearing inside their formation. The aliens had been watching for attacks from outside, but humans materialized right in the middle of their fleet. "Impossible," shouted Admiral Voss Kellen. "No species can teleport through our shields." "Apparently humans can," replied his tactical officer just before a quantum missile erased his flagship from existence. The battle lasted 18 minutes. When it was over, only a few dozen alien ships remained intact, and those were only because humans wanted witnesses to survive. Major Limdal's ground forces performed an even more impressive demonstration. They landed on Nexus Station while the space battle was still happening. The aliens had thought their fortress was impregnable, but human soldiers walked through solid walls using phase technology. "How are they doing this?" asked the station commander as human troops appeared in his command center. "We adapt," said Major Limdal, removing his helmet to reveal a normal human face. "You aliens think in straight lines. Humans think in spirals." The station surrendered without firing a shot. Similar scenes played out across the galaxy. Every alien force that tried to fight humanity discovered the same terrible truth. They had been preparing for war against the humans they thought they knew, not the humans that actually existed. Captain Nam Gi, the survivor from New Sol Colony, was now commanding a battle group of human ships hunting down the remaining Quillen hives. His merchant vessel had been replaced with a warship that could destroy planets. "Captain," reported his scanner officer, "we've found another hive ship hiding in the Vega system." "How many Quillens on board?" "Approximately 50,000, sir." Namgi remembered watching 12 million humans die on New Sol. "Fire the planet killer." "No survivors." The Quillen hive ship exploded in a flash of light that could be seen from 3 star systems away. The few remaining Quillen ships received the message. There was nowhere to hide from human vengeance. Meanwhile, the Galactic Federation Council was meeting in emergency session on their backup capital world. Most of the alien representatives were terrified. Some were angry. All of them were confused. "How did this happen?" demanded Counselor Beth Vex, one of the few surviving Nethian leaders. "Humans were farmers and miners. They had primitive technology." "Obviously they were lying," replied Counselor Tal Moore from the Hexan Republic. "The question is, what do we do now?" "We fight," said General Crixlon of the Taurian Combine. "Even if humans are more advanced than we thought, they're still just one species. We have hundreds of worlds." Ambassador Yardin from the Peaceful Worlds Alliance shook his head. "Have you seen the battle reports? They're not just defeating our fleets, they're erasing them completely. And their ground forces, they fight like they're playing games, not fighting for their lives." "Because they are," said a new voice from the chamber entrance. Everyone turned to see Ambassador Li Te entering the council hall. He was President Han Wu's former pilot, now representing humanity to what remained of the galactic government. "You knew my president," he said, walking calmly to the center of the chamber. "He came here in peace. He offered friendship and cooperation. You murdered him." "That was necessary," protested Counselor Beth Vex. "Humans were becoming too powerful." "No," Li Te replied. "We were already more powerful than you could imagine. We were just being polite about it." He activated a holographic display showing human forces throughout the galaxy. Ships appeared everywhere, around every major world, near every trade route, in every strategic system. While you were deciding our fate, we were preparing for every possibility. While you saw us as servants, we were studying you as potential threats. While you thought you were the masters of the galaxy, we were quietly becoming its guardians. The alien counselors stared at the display in horror. Human forces were everywhere, and they had appeared without anyone noticing. "What do you want from us?" asked Counselor Talmor quietly. "The same thing President Han Wu wanted," Li Te replied. "Peace and cooperation. But now it will be on our terms, not yours." Dr. Park Nari's voice came through the chamber speakers from Earth. "We're broadcasting from the same location where President Han Wu was murdered. We want everyone to understand something important." The holographic display changed to show Earth's hidden military production facilities. Massive shipyards were building new fleets. Weapons factories were producing advanced systems. Research centers were developing even more powerful technologies. "This is what humans can do when we stop pretending to be weak," Park Nari continued. "We've been holding back for 50 years because we wanted to be friends. That was our mistake." General Kim Dae appeared on the display, no longer in a wheelchair but wearing full military dress uniform. "From this day forward, humanity will ensure galactic peace. We will protect those who cannot protect themselves. We will stop those who threaten innocent lives. And we will never again allow anyone to murder our leaders. The age of alien supremacy is over," announced Minister Shin. "Hey, welcome to the human." Air Ambassador Li Te looked around the silent council chamber. "You have a choice. Accept the new reality and work with us to build a better galaxy, or continue fighting and discover that what you've seen so far was just the beginning." Outside the chamber, human ships waited in perfect formation, their weapons powered but not aimed. The message was clear. Humanity was now the dominant force in the galaxy, but they would only use that power when necessary. The age of human dominance had begun not with conquest, but with justice. 5 years after President Han Wu's assassination, the galaxy looked completely different. President General Kim Dae stood at the podium in the same chamber where his best friend had been murdered. The room was packed with representatives from over 300 species, all listening carefully to every word he said. "Today marks the 5th anniversary of the day the galaxy learned what happens when you attack innocent humans," Kim Dae began. His voice was strong and calm. "Today we also celebrate 5 years of real peace between all civilized species." The alien delegates applauded politely. They had learned that humans appreciated good manners, and humans had very long memories for insults. Admiral Park Nari, now head of Human Space Command, watched from the observation deck. She had been promoted after designing the weapons that won the war. Her job now was making sure no one was foolish enough to start another war. "The Human Protection Fleet has responded to 47 requests for help this year," Kim Dae continued. "We've stopped 3 attempted genocides, prevented 12 wars, and delivered aid to 6 worlds suffering from natural disasters." Ambassador Li Te nodded approvingly. As humanity's chief diplomat, he had worked hard to transform human military victory into lasting peace. The aliens had learned to respect human power, but Li Te wanted them to appreciate human fairness as well. "Some of you remember when the Morgaxi pirates attacked the Deltan colonies," Kim Dae said. "Human forces arrived in 6 hours and eliminated the entire pirate fleet. Not because the Deltans were our allies, but because pirates prey on the innocent." Delegate Zim Vox from the Deltan Republic stood and bowed deeply. "Humanity saved 2 million Deltan lives that day. We will never forget." "Others remember when the Korthax plague threatened to kill everyone on Belen 4, Kim Dae continued. "Human scientists worked for 3 months without rest to develop a cure. We shared that cure freely with everyone who needed it." The Belen delegate began to cry. Her entire species had almost gone extinct until humans saved them. Commander O'Bin was present but invisible as always. His intelligence network now covered the entire galaxy, but its purpose had changed. Instead of gathering information for war, they watched for signs of oppression, slavery, or genocide. Humans had decided that being the strongest species in the galaxy meant protecting the weakest. The 3 species that murdered President Han Wu no longer exist as military powers, Kim Dae said, his voice becoming harder. Their surviving populations live under human supervision. They are fed, housed, and protected, but they may never again possess weapons of war. In the back of the chamber, former Nethian Chancellor Vex Moore's son, Yef Moore, listened quietly. He worked now as a translator for the Human Diplomatic Service. His father had died in the sonic attacks that destroyed the Nethian capital, and Yef had spent years learning to understand why. My father thought humans were animals, he had told Ambassador Li Tay during his job interview. He was wrong. Humans are the apex predators of the galaxy, but you choose to be civilized. That's more frightening than any weapon. The former Vorthak worlds were now home to the largest humanitarian organization in the galaxy. Dr. Zhang So ran hospitals and research, centers where the surviving crystal beings worked alongside human doctors to help sick and injured people from any species. Pain teaches wisdom, said Hex Quill, the daughter of the dead Lord Crystal Thane Quill. My people learned that strength without compassion leads to destruction. Humans showed us a better way. Even the few remaining Quillans had found a purpose. Their hive mind abilities made them excellent coordinators for emergency relief operations. They helped organize rescue efforts when disasters struck remote worlds. We were designed to conquer, explained worker drone Jess Vane, the last surviving member of broodmother Kess Vane's family. Now we help humans protect instead of destroy. It feels better. Kim Dae looked out at the gathered delegates representing species from across the galaxy. President Han Wu came to this chamber 5 years ago with a dream of cooperation and peace. He was murdered for that dream. Today his dream is reality, but it was built on the foundation of justice, not just hope. The memorial to Han Wu had been built in the exact spot where he died. It was made from earth marble and alien crystals, representing the cooperation he had wanted to achieve. The inscription was written in every known galactic language. Here fell a man of peace. From his death rose a force of justice. Remember this lesson: humanity protects its own. But there was a second inscription added later. That meant even more to the humans who read it. And humanity protects all who cannot protect themselves. Captain Namgi now commanded the memorial guard. His job was ensuring that no one ever forgot what happened in this chamber. He had personally interviewed every survivor of the assassination, recording their stories for future generations. The aliens thought killing our leader would make us afraid, he often told visitors to the memorial. They didn't understand that killing our leader would make us angry. And angry humans are the most dangerous force in the universe. As Kim Dae finished his speech, he announced the newest addition to the memorial, a wall listing every human who died on New Sol Colony. 12 million names covered the entire side of the building. These people died because aliens thought human lives didn't matter, Kim Dae said. Their deaths taught the galaxy that every human life matters very much, and we will travel across the universe to prove it. After the ceremony, Kim Dae walked alone to Han Wu's grave behind the memorial. It was a simple stone marker with only his name and the words he believed in peace. We got your peace, old friend, Kim Dae said quietly. It just took more force than you expected. Dr. Park Nari joined him at the grave. Do you think he would approve of what we've done? He wanted humans to be respected as equals, Kim Dae replied. Now they respect us as superiors. He wanted cooperation between species. Now they cooperate because they're afraid not to. He wanted peace in the galaxy. Now we have peace because we have the power to enforce it. That doesn't answer my question. Kim Dae smiled sadly. Han Wu was a better man than I am. He would have found a way to achieve all this without killing anyone. But Han Wu is dead, killed by aliens who couldn't imagine that humans might be more than they appeared. So instead of his way, we used the human way. Which is? We protected our own. We punished those who hurt us. We became strong enough that no one would dare threaten us again, and then we used that strength to help others. Years later, alien children would learn about the Great Awakening in their history classes. They would study how humanity went from being considered a minor species to becoming the dominant power in the galaxy in less than a week. Some alien worlds declared holidays celebrating the day. Humans saved them from oppression. Others observed solemn remembrance days honoring the victims of the species that had thought they could murder human leaders without consequences. But the most important lesson taught in schools across the galaxy was simple. Never underestimate humans. Never threaten humans, and never ever hurt someone a human cares about. The galaxy was more peaceful than it had been in thousands of years. Trade flourished under human protection. Scientific cooperation reached new heights under human leadership. Conflicts were resolved quickly under human mediation. And in the center of it all, the memorial to President Han Wu reminded everyone that this peace had been purchased with blood, and that humans had very long memories. The age of human dominance was not built on conquest or oppression. It was built on a simple promise: leave us alone and we'll leave you alone. Threaten us or hurt innocent people, and we'll show you why humans are the most dangerous species in the galaxy. It was a promise the galaxy had learned to take very seriously.